And in more local news today, more senior citizens got a chance to receive their vaccinations.
500 doses were administered at St. Matthew Baptist Church in Jacksonville's Moncrief neighborhood. News 4 Jax reporter Zach Lashway spoke with people who got their shots.
Willie Fillmore.
In an effort to make the COVID-19 vaccine more accessible,
we really believe making sure these vaccines are getting into all segments of communities is important, and we think working with our houses of worship is one way that you can do that.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says this is a statewide effort.
You're going to see 7 of these sites working today in conjunction with places of worship, many of them with predominantly African-American churches. So we have here in Lynn Haven, we also have Tallahassee, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, St. Lucie, Tampa, and Jacksonville.
The State Department of Health administered 500 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine by appointment at St. Matthew Baptist Church in Moncrief.
Our church, Mount Sinai, Pastor Gundy, they called us at home, asked did we want to take the shot. So first I was nervous and I said no. Then the next day, Friday, I called him and I called back to the church and they said, well, call Audrey Gibson office, let the secretary take your name, put it on the roll for Mount Sinai. Okay, so I did that.
Ravina Brooks and her husband Earl received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine and say they have appointments to receive the second dose in a couple of weeks.
It didn't hurt.
Didn't hurt at all. I was waiting for it to hurt, but it didn't.
How did you get access to this shot? Did you make an appointment, and who did you make that appointment through?
Well, the appointment was made, actually, a pastor friend of mine with access. We went through the process of him doing it through on the line, and we got it in, through Senator Audrey Gibson office, that it went through the process, and I was able to get in and get it.
Transforming places of worship into places of protection for more people amid this pandemic. In Moncrief, Zach Lashway, Channel 4, the local station.
We reached out to the Florida Department of Health to confirm who was in charge of booking these appointments. The governor said today they hope to host more efforts like this in coming weeks.
Well, hello today. I want to thank all of you for being with us today, and I'm going to read my opening statement. I'm Pastor Larry Macon Sr., pastor of the Mount Zion Church and also the president of United Pastors in Mission. So I welcome all of you who are here today. Let me open up by saying Happy Black History Month to all of you today. And we want everyone hearing our voice to celebrate it with us by getting the COVID vaccine shot this month. Also, the United Pastors of Greater Cleveland is here today because the clergy have long been in the front lines of change, pushing for a better public education for children, criminal justice reform, voting, and civil rights privileges. And now we're on the front lines against the coronavirus and its variants. That is a very serious problem and very deadly to our community. Many of our clergy have either taken the vaccine, and others will soon be rolling up their sleeves to get their first and second dose of COVID-19 vaccine, and ensuring aimed at swaying skeptics and encouraging the vaccination. We have delivered masks, joined initiatives to ramp up testing at our church sites. We have been involved in contact tracing and even given out critical public health information at our churches and on our online town halls and Zoom forums. As we continue to fight this pandemic, it is so important that we encourage people to trust the science and medical professions to do what the experts advise. And that means receiving the vaccine, continuing to social distancing, and wearing their mask. We also want to encourage our congregations, those who will attend inside church, those who are listening in the church parking lots, in the cars, and our online viewers, as well as the larger community in Greater Clevelanders, including teachers, grocery store workers, and first responders. We are encouraging everybody to get vaccinated here in the greater Cleveland community.
The fight against COVID-19 and the vaccine rollout, new findings show communities of color are not getting the shot at the same rate as white people. Now, Atlanta media mogul Tyler Perry is stepping in to try to boost that number and sway vaccine skeptics. Joe Ripley joining us live at Grady Hospital, one of the largest hospitals in the state. And Joe, Grady teaming up with Perry in this new push?
Good morning, Sheba. You're absolutely right. And there are several hurdles when it comes to getting minorities vaccinated with that all too crucial COVID-19 vaccine. You've got the question of access. Is it adequate? Is it fair? And then you have the skepticism surrounding the vaccine. This new partnership between media mogul Tyler Perry and Grady Health System hope to address that.
He's walked red carpets, built a state-of-the-art studio, even invested back into the community. And now Tyler Perry's latest role, a role model. The media mogul has taken both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine and has now partnered with Grady Health System to help spread the word about vaccine safety.
The idea of Grady was that we will approach Tyler Perry, who's an opinion leader, because we know that key opinion leaders are very important.
We've seen similar scenes with top law enforcement leaders and government officials getting the vaccine to try and reassure the community it's safe to do so. Perry sat down with medical experts, including Emory University's Dr. Carlos Del Rio, asking questions to get further educated on the vaccine.
This is not just about a photo. This is about educating the community.
Especially in minority communities hardest hit by COVID-19, yet vaccinated at far lower rates. The Kaiser Family Foundation found alarming racial and ethnic disparities in 16 states. While Georgia doesn't track vaccinations by race, Kaiser cites 1 in 3 African Americans are hesitant to receive the vaccine.
This is not just a health care issue. It goes into housing, it goes into education. So if there are partnerships that can be formed between healthcare organizations and other community-based organizations to get to those individuals, that is partially how we will solve healthcare disparities.
The goal, to raise awareness and erase the stigma in minority communities and make sure they get fair access to the COVID-19 vaccine.
Even Tyler Perry was a little hesitant, concerned about taking the COVID-19 vaccine. He says the education helped. You can see him sit down and chat with medical experts in a program tonight, a special on BET. As a matter of fact, Dr. Del Rio, you heard from there just moments ago, he will also be in that special to educate more folks about taking the vaccine.